This short video clip, I wanted to demonstrate an overall setup to implement Smart Instrumentation WebApi. So the first step, you will be required to install Smart Instrumentation WebApi component. So that will be the pretty straightforward installation that by default sets up under the SPI Smart Instrumentation home folder. So then you'll be required to install the application that is called Smart API Manager. So that application could be also installed under the same smartphone folder, like in my case, and by the completion to install this application, you will be required to run this configuration utility that will walk you through the settings requirements for that utility. So where you will define the homepage address and other settings. So after that, you will be able to run this application using the web browser, either Chrome or Internet Explorer web browser, and you will have to configure the smart APIs and smart clients. So on the Smart API side, here you can find like Smart Instrumentation or Smart Pin ID, Smart Electrical, or any other smart integral smart application. There is a work process to register a Smart Instrumentation WebApi on this interface. So by clicking the new Smart API, and that will basically open this page where you need to proceed through all this setup. So I don't show explicitly how to make the setup. It is all explained in the documentation. So this is just the generic overview. So you will need to specify the user access right. So on the specific level of the user. So in my case, I will use the SPI DBA account to access the Smart Instrumentation application through the Web API. So how that Web API connects to the Smart Instrumentation application and the database. So this system uses IIS services, Internet Information Services. So here in the IIS settings, you will need to specify the application pool that shares the same settings across all smart applications. Like in my case, I use the S2D application tool that covers instrumentation, pin ID, and electrical, and they all share the same advanced settings. And then you will need to create the website for each application. So in case of the SPI or SI, you will need to have this website, and that website will connect to the Web API services of the Smart Instrumentation. So you will have to point to that location of the Web API setup. So next you will need to register your clients. So the client application that will be used to access Smart Instrumentation data. So in my case, I use the Postman, but that could be another application, a client application like advanced REST client that I will be using. So here in the Smart Clients directory, so we specify the client ID and some secret password that will be given to the client, and only those clients will be allowed to access the Web API environment. So when I open the Postman application, so I have already some predefined set of the HTTP queries that knows to connect to SPI database and to query the data. But prior we are given the rights to query the data, we need to get the authority to do so. So there is the specific script, HTTP require script that grant the access to the Smart Instrumentation application on the Smart API Manager, right? So we connect to our instance of the Smart API Manager, and after that we can run the HTTP request to query the SPI database. So in this example, so we can query the property of the specific instrument tag. So when you send this HTTP request, so you will get the item tag with the list of all available properties of this instrument item tag. Okay, so the data is presented in the JSON format. So another example, you may have the engineering data editor defined in the SPI. So in this case I use EDE index, instrument index basic query. So if you want to present the same data to query this data from the SPI database and present it in the external application, so you can run this query. This is an example of the query where you point to the ID value of the EDE, okay, and that will query all the properties for each instrument as defined in that EDE. Okay, so also you can query the database to find a specific document. In this case, this is the DCS arrangement document. So when you send this query, the client will communicate to the SI database and will find the revised drawing or report. In this case, this is the DCS IO assignment report, and we'll save it in the specified shared location. So that location, so I already sent this query before, so that location is on my server and the SI folder, so in that folder. So this the Web API will save the report in the PDF format, so you can open this PDF file and preview the deliverable. So similarly, in another example, we can run the query that will generate the loop drawing. So when I send it, so it will it points to the same location on the shared SI directory, and we'll save the PDF file there. So I did this already before, and in that location you will find the loop drawing. Okay, so also in case of the EDE example, so if you want to convert this data from the JSON format to the grid format, so you can just select all this JSON format data, and you can open, you can Google the converter from the JSON to the grid format. So in this example, it could be the website like JSON grid online resource, where you can convert from the JSON data type format into the grid, and you just simply paste the copied result of the data from Postman and paste it here, and that could be converted to the grid format. Okay, so you can easily preview the data in the tabular format in the Chrome browser. So similarly, instead of using the Postman, you can use the advanced REST client. So the same way, so this is the same set of the HTTP requests. So you can use them, and you can send this request to get the results. Okay, so you can develop your own client application and use the same queries to query the SPI to get the authority and to query the SPI database. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.